We're back again.
Back again.
That's right. Apparently, we have not finished painting miniatures. We have skeletons next. Skeletons.
Skelly bones.
Skeleton warriors. and the concept behind skeleton warriors, I don't know. Is it right? There's so you said there was lots of different ways of painting them, and I'm kind of amused by the fact that there are so many different ways. I'm going to try a different way today. Anyway, I'm going to put up a poll. And grab your food, your drink, get comfortable. Grab your miniatures if you've got some miniatures, because we're going to do some skeleton painting. Ooh, that's right. That's right. I'm going to start in a second for those of you. So yeah, get those miniatures out. Get them moving. It's time to get them painted. The pile of shame must end. It must end. Bring it to an end. People, bring it to an end. Anyway.
Says the man with a pile of shame the size of a freaking mountain.
Oh, yeah, big time. All right. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I probably will be talking about role-playing games and miniatures and all sorts of things and stuff like that. But today it's all about painting the skeleton. These are a bunch of miniatures that are from the Castle Ravenloft board game, for those of you who are wondering. And I'm not alone. I have a guest.
Kia ora, I'm Dave, and I'm going to be painting.
I'll
be painting off camera.
That's right. Dave's painting off camera and will be chatting along with me. For those of you who are hoping to have some sort of conversation and didn't want to listen to my voice constantly, there's an opportunity for something like that to happen. Now, normally, David, I've washed these. So I washed these with soapy water and a brush before I gave them to David. And you've sprayed these, right?
Yeah, just with a primer. Panzer Grey.
Panzer Grey primer all over, and now they're ready to go. Now, normally, I would paint a skeleton this way. I would go black, then dry brush it with white, and then paint in my details, and that's it. But I'm not going to do it that way.
Incredibly lazy.
I know, it's incredibly lazy, but when you're dealing with,
a whole bunch of them,
a lot of them all at once, it's sort of like, how can I make it easy?
Slap them out.
So instead today...
Hey, slap chop them. Slap chop them.
Today I'm going to opt for a slightly different technique, which is still relatively simple and still relatively quick, but it should still do the job. And I'm going to rely on a wash a bit more. So I'm going to start out and just do all the bone, this one colour. Skeleton bone, okay? That's the colour I'm going to do. How's your day been going, David?
Pretty good. Drawing Marvel characters, Captain America.
Captain America, all right, okay.
Cap. Yeah, Capitan.
The Capitan. So, is it the Steve Rogers version, or is it the Falcon version, or is it
Steve Rogers?
Piggy? Okay,
Steve Rogers.
Just checking, because there's a few versions, right?
Yeah, so Steve Rogers one. Yep.
Steve Rogers. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just thought I'd ask. Never know.
Since he is the super soldier.
Right. And the others aren't super soldiers,
no.
Unless it's the What If world.
Unless it's the What If world, and then it's Captain Carter.
Captain Carter. Right. Okay,
or
yes. It's
Captain Britain, but the female version.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like Captain Carter.
I actually like the fact that they haven't just called the character Captain America. They've actually sort of separated it a little bit, which is quite a good idea, I thought. It gives it its own sort of flavour, its own mythos, stuff like that.
Well, I don't understand the whole idea of having Falcon and just getting him to dress up in the Stars and Stripes, and then all of a sudden giving him a shield, and then he's Captain America. But he's not Captain America. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just got he's a Falcon.
He's going to have it a lot harder. He'll find it a lot harder. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's just see how it goes. Yeah. There've been a few people who have been Captain America over the years. So
yeah,
like most things.
Like Steve Rogers.
Pretty much.
Oh, I suppose you mean like all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah, even Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Has been played by various characters, not necessarily just Peter Parker.
No.
So yeah.
Miles Morales, I think.
Miles Morales, and there's a few others too, I believe. And in the movies, we get quite a few more.
Yeah, too many.
Too many?
It's ridiculous. Spider-Pig.
This is from
does
The Simpsons.
Whatever a Spider-Pig does.
That's The Simpsons, right?
Yeah. But now it's canon.
Dear. I thought that was funny though. When you mentioned that, I was like, oh. So this miniature is very, very flexible. It's very soft. And so you'll see me as I'm painting, it's actually moving around a lot.
Yeah, try drying it out with a hairdryer.
Ugh. It must have just turned into a great huge nothing.
Yeah. Yep. It did.
Okay, right. So yes, I'm trying to just get the bones covered right now. And since I have 3 of them to do, I'll have to be fairly quick. It's going to be probably a bit difficult because of the flexible nature of the miniature in itself. Because it keeps moving every time you brush it.
Yeah.
Well, not even dry brushing, just putting the paint on it moves because it's so thin.
That's that's what's distinct quality then.
It's good if you don't want it to break.
Yeah, that's okay if they're pre-painted.
Yeah. No, I think this is going to be one of those times where I might actually struggle to get it done just because the miniature's moving around. It's just not staying still.
It's a bit like trying to give my dog a haircut.
How did that go? Trey got his haircut or not?
No, it's not hot enough yet. It's getting there though.
It is?
Yeah, and then I'll just shave all of his hair off.
Shave all of it off?
Yep.
You did that last time, didn't you? That looked really bad, dude.
Yeah, I shaved it all off.
I felt really bad for him. It was like you'd grabbed and done a shearing sheep job on him.
I did grab him and do a shearing sheep job, but he just moves a lot. He's really hard to cut his hair.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really difficult. He's Bandit's much easier to do. It's Sam's dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he just sort of just sits there and stands up and he does what he's not too fussed about it as much. But Atreyu's just like constantly moving, sitting down.
Oh, okay.
You almost need to hang him from a flipping harness to try and cut his hair. So yeah, he ends up looking not so great. And usually Sam finishes him off.
Oh, okay.
Does all the touch-up work because I can't be bothered once I've cut. Takes like a couple of hours just to get his hair off, and then but he needs it for summer because it's just so much. He's got a really thick coat, so yeah.
He's like a fluff ball now, really.
Yeah.
When I was looking at him last.
Yeah, well, you notice that between the two, if you ever see them in a cold situation, he won't be shivering, but Bandit will be.
Right.
Because he's got such a thick coat.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but in summer it's a problem, and you have to constantly keep him shaved. And Bandit don't really have to shave him very much. You have to give him a little trim.
Right.
Done.
So his hair maybe doesn't grow as fast.
His hair doesn't grow at all.
Doesn't it?
Nah, he's got it's just really thin coat.
All right. Okay, so I think that skeleton done. That took me a little while to get it all over, but we'll keep going.
It's okay, Fred. You got an hour.
Yeah. The other thing too is I was talking to David about this, isn't it? Painting skeletons, sometimes if you just go straight white, and I've noticed this myself, is they just seem a bit stark, right? You painting white onto a skeleton, it's just a bit overpowering sometimes, just bright.
Well, it's like the
white.
Skeleton would have come out of after the Predator puts his liquid nitrogen stuff on it and cleans them all off, and so it's perfectly shiny, brand new, like as if they never had flesh on them at all.
Yeah.
Not skeletons that you would expect to encounter in Dungeons and Dragons that pretty much erupt out of the ground because they're fully decayed by that point.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd be pretty dirty looking bony things,
Yeah.
You'd expect. Not stark white, not Predator white.
Yeah. So yeah, it actually probably smart that if you're going to do skeletons, pick an off-white.
Make him look Scody.
Scody. What's Scody? What's the word? Where's the word Scody come from? Is this scabby or what's? I don't understand.
Oh no, something in school.
In school?
Yeah, just like Scody. It's like
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just a bit off, because they're basically zombies with no flesh on them, really.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to try to go for with today. Is we're going with, apparently the technical word is Scody.
Yeah, Scody. They're just zombies that are fully decayed. They finished their decay cycle.
Yeah. Just the bones left.
It's pity there's no worms sort of crawling around on them and stuff,
Well, that would be fun.
The old maggot, things like that. Scody.
Yeah. I guess one of the things I've noticed when fighting skeletons in a role-playing game is they don't really seem to have any kind of special abilities that really stand out in the fight. Other than the fact that they could fight underwater because they don't need to breathe, they don't need to eat.
Yeah.
stuff like that. They don't really have anything other
I never
than
thought about that.
other than if you want to attack and fight them right, you smash them with a weapon that breaks their fragile bones, apparently. But stabbing them is kind of pointless. What are you going to stab? There's no vital organs.
No, you pretty much got to just shatter them, eh?
Yeah, you got to break them up into little pieces.
So having like a mace would be good.
Yep.
A studded club maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that can just shatter bone, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Knuckle dusters.
Knuckle dusters, explosive magic spells.
Yeah.
Something would blow them up.
Yeah, something like that shatters materials.
Maybe incredible intense heat. Something that could burn them to a crisp.
I think it would take a long time. That's the only hassle, right?
Well, patience is the key, Fred, there with that one.
Are you going to sit there and wait?
Just wait. Just have
they keep attacking
if you
though.
did it near like a if you did it near a tavern or something, you could go and have something to eat and drink while they're burning away.
Yeah, but they're still trying to kill you.
No. You just the spell. You keep pushing the fire at them. You got on one hand you're pushing the fire thing at them. On the other hand you're having something to eat. Steak maybe, some carrots.
Okay.
Got to keep your protein up. Got to make sure you're nice and fit and strong.
Okay. All right.
And maybe a beer, just so you don't stress out so much about burning something.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Of course. Hello.
Always here for the good advice.
Hello, Satori. How are you doing? What's that gear you're using to hold the miniature? This is a pill bottle. Look, I take a lot of vitamins, okay, and so all my vitamin or pill bottles wind up getting used as holders for my miniature. It's not a technical piece of equipment. Please do not go and buy a special tool for that. You don't need to. A bit of blue tack and a pill bottle or a vitamin bottle that's nice and small, and I just roll it around on the table as I'm painting. And that's it. It's very, very simple. There's no need to go and spend a lot of money on something for holding your miniature. And because it's small, I always find that I don't usually do this with large miniatures, but with something that's small, then I'll definitely use a pill bottle if I can, just because it makes it easier. Okay, so I
recommend spending heaps of money on something really expensive.
Yeah, but that's David. This is one time you can ignore David's advice.
Oh. Okay.
And hello, Satori. How are you? Dear. All right, so let's keep going because we've got a little bit to get done today. Since I've got to do 3 of these, and there's still swords and shields and so forth, and there's even straps to deal with.
Oh,
little
geez,
itty bitty
hypocrisy
straps.
of everything, Fred.
I
It's
mean,
just unbelievable.
How is it they have to make miniature so difficult for me to get at?
Yeah, specifically.
I might actually have to do some work. I mean, seriously.
It's disaster.
It is. It's just ridiculous.
It's the end of the world. It's the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yep.
And might actually have to show some painting skill. And I didn't want that. I just wanted to get the paint on. Remember?
Oh, woe is you.
Yeah. Feel sorry for me now.
Yeah. I will for the next hour anyway.
Or you take the piss out of me about the whole thing.
Maybe a bit of both.
A little bit of both. How's it going, big kid? If I was painting, I would throw a wash and be done with the skeleton. So you wouldn't even just paint it. You just throw a wash straight over it. Dear. That's funny.
I painted purple.
Paint it purple skeletons.
Yep.
That's how it is now, man.
It is if you've got a purple light shining on it.
What? Okay.
I mean, it's white, right? So it reflects. So it doesn't matter what colour it is, really. You could orange.
An orange skeleton.
Fire. You could do like a
Okay.
OSL.
What's OSL?
Object light source light.
And this is something around painting or something else that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, it's around painting. It's
Okay.
like if if it's white, if you're holding a torch, right?
Yeah.
It's going to reflect light onto you, right?
Mm.
So you want to put that light reflecting onto you, where that area would be, sort of around your head, maybe by your torso and your arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is some actually useful advice that you're trying to give.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. It's a bit useful. Depends how fussy you. I mean, you could paint a skeleton and go and do a whole bunch of stuff, or if you're painting a whole bunch of skeletons, like if you had an army of skeletons to paint.
Spray can.
Oh yeah, you could just actually. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
I'm not really fond of the dip painting, but I know that you can do it.
Oh, I've tried it. I don't like it.
You don't like the dip painting?
No, it just makes a mess. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's not. The problem with dip painting is that paint is like oil sometimes. It just goes on, it will stick on real thick.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really have if you were dip painting, you would have to be able to be absolutely sure of the thickness of the paint before it goes in, so that there's not too big a thick layer going on as you dipping.
I got some dipping paint, like I got some dipping wash, the black wash, the Vallejo one. It's like a big container of it. But yeah, it does so thick, and then you know, it doesn't go on the way you can't control it.
Yeah.
And then it's just a big mess. You got to try and get it off it before it dries out.
Which ain't going to be so easy.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you could just paint them all dark colour, and then you could probably highlight them like from a zenithal highlight or something, and then you're probably done with skeleton.
The problem I think you'd have to do is you'd have to have some test miniatures to be able to see how the paint is holding, right? And then, okay, is that too thick? Is that too thin? And then you'd have to thin it down until you got to the right consistency. It just sounds like too much of a pain in the ass. Big Kid is a patron and a moderator. How's it going, buddy? I also buy all the little things like special mini holders like Dave. I mean David. I forget about that. David does not like to be called Dave. His name is David.
Yeah, well, it's just as a common name, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's short enough, right? Even for a Kiwi.
Even for a Kiwi.
Even for a Kiwi, should be able to get the whole thing out.
Yeah. Yep.
So for those of you who don't know, Kiwis are notorious for shortening people's names to 3 or 4 letters.
Or 1. I think I should just call me D.
I mean, that's true laziness.
That's New Zealanders, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why they shorten names, so they don't have to say the whole
very
name.
much, yeah. Dear.
That means you just be called F.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, what, the F? And you'll be like, what? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. No, don't want to be doing. Don't call me F.
I want to call you F.
I never painted.
That's Mr. F to you, thanks.
yeah, that's right. Sir, Mr. F.
Sir, Mr. F.
Sir, Mr. F to you.
Yeah.
Satori's got here. I never painted a miniature in my life, but I do have one in metal I love. Would you use the same kind of paint with a plastic one?
No.
No. The primer is going to be different. You need to use a metal primer. That's your first thing. Yep. And then I think you can use the same sort of paints on metal once the primer is dealt with, right?
You can, but you have to seal it really, really well because it chips off.
Right.
Even with the good primer.
Okay.
It's just the nature of metal miniatures.
So how would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, just get a really like an enamel, and you could use you still get a matte varnish, but like use an enamel one.
An enamel varnish to go over the primer.
Over the paint.
Over the paint. Yeah.
To seal it on so it doesn't chip off.
Yeah. So you still use the same paints, but the primer would be different.
And the clear coat would be different.
And the clear coat would be different because it would have to be dealing with metal.
Yep.
And it would have to be very strong. Probably have to go with. Well, no, you don't necessarily have to go with gloss nowadays because those matte finish coats are really good, aren't they? They're really strong.
Yep.
Rather than so you wouldn't have to go gloss and then matte. You could just go straight gloss as long as you get a good one. So yeah, that sounds like the way. I used to use Humbrol paints when I was painting my old metal miniatures, and I can assure you that it's awful to work with.
It's smelly.
Smelly.
Messy. You got to clean up the terps. Your brushes get destroyed.
Yep. You'll get high. Your room will smell like an unholy thing. And
yeah, Fred used to love it. He was high all the time.
Yeah, I was constantly high, man.
Yep.
Yeah, off my paint.
Yep.
No, the truth is that was all there was available back then.
Mm.
There were no other options. Any of the paints that I tried were Tamiya paints and something else, but they all had this very dry finish. They were flaky. They weren't very good.
It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it wasn't acceptable at all. No, and of course, because it's flaky and it's like that, it just caused all sorts of problems. Okay, so next I'm going to paint the swords on these things. I'm going to just go through and do all the swords now. So I'm going to use a silver dragon colour. I think that'll be the one for me. Silver dragon.
Silver dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we will use a standard brush size.
What colour are you going to paint the hilts?
I'm
like
thinking
gold, maybe?
I was thinking maybe brown.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I could go black, but like the all helts seem to wind up being black, and it's yeah. So I think I'll go with just a brown colour.
Purple?
No,
Purple?
no, I'll go with brown.
Oh.
So as you can see, there's nothing terribly exciting going on here. I'm just getting the silver on. I might have to go over it twice. I always find that silver, most metallics don't go on very well. Either they go on really thick or so thin that you're not really covering properly. So yeah, so I'm not going to get too carried away with how that works out. Just get it on and I'll come back and do it again. What do you got here? My real name is Brandon, but my grandmother didn't speak English, so so called me Brandy. Hence I don't use my name much. Wow, I can't believe you revealed that and during a live stream, Big Kid. Brandon, I don't think I'm going to call you Brandy. I feel like that's an insult on many different levels, so it's not going to happen. I'm all right with Brandon. Brandy just seems like, yeah, no. Taking the mickey.
It depends what you like drinking.
Right. So that's that one. And okay. All right, I have to come back over that one. We'll do it again, and we've got the next one. But yes, if you want to get a lot of miniatures and you wanted a whole lot of undead stuff, I do highly recommend the Castle Ravenloft Dungeons and Dragons board game. I would have thought they would have run out of those things by now, but apparently they don't. They seem to, maybe they keep reprinting them, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of them purchased over the years.
It's a scam.
You reckon?
Yep. It's a conspiracy, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still the board game's still a good way to get people into the game sometimes, particularly if they don't want to have anybody being a game master.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Everybody gets to play as a character. No one has to worry about being the game master. Have to figure out the story. It's all just pre-created, and basically it's just a fighting simulator. Slash your way through as many monsters as you possibly can. Osiris is here. Hello, how are you? When is he busting out the speaking grim oil? Streaking grim oil. I don't know what is streaking grim oil. Do you know what that he's talking about?
Probably a wash.
It's a wash? No, I don't
Streaking grime.
Streaking grime.
Grime.
Is it streaking grime? Oh, grime. Okay. I can't see the E. YouTube, move the little heart thing into a different position so people can actually see all the text that people put in. What colour do you reckon the skeleton shield should be?
Purple.
No!
Oh. Man, I can't win today.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I think purple's great.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I don't do purple. That's no.
No?
No.
Okay. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Fine, I'll do my sword again while I have to think about what colour.
You're going to redo it purple?
No.
Oh, man.
It's just going to be silver. It didn't completely cover.
Okay.
So I'm just putting another coat over to see if I can finish it off.
Fair enough.
Which isn't really helping.
Oh.
Apparently it's not working at all. Okay, alright. So be it. So, maybe I'll just make that a silver shield. I feel like it should just be a silver shield. Screw it. Let's just use a silver colour. And then the details can be in the bronze or the gold colour. Something like that. You well, Satori? Osiris? Cool. When I started playing D&D, I was 12 years old. I remember used to play Rail Path of Miniatures. Not sure the name. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I haven't had those types of miniatures for a very long time. And yeah, I remember them. They had some very good miniatures. They also had some very bad miniatures. You could get really good sculpts, and sometimes you just get, well, what the heck is that? That's the early days of sculpting miniatures in that sort of size, so I can kind of understand it. And I'm going to need a smaller brush to do all the stuff close to the arm or hand, so I'm just doing that fairly quickly. And I'll do the next one. like? So painting all the big areas first. We spent a lot of, me and my David spent a lot of time playing Space Marine and Hero Quest. Yeah, a lot of time. It was kind of like the only games we played as a family, right?
Yep. Yeah, I wonder which one we played the most. I think it was probably equal.
I think it was pretty equal. One of the things I do know is, even though we had things like Scrabble and Monopoly, they were not good games to play as a family game.
No.
If you want to destroy your family's relationships, play Monopoly.
Or become an alcoholic.
or become an alcoholic. It's not quite what I had in mind, but yeah.
That relates to playing games, doesn't it?
And then
some games drive you that way.
Yeah, I know the girls used to like playing Scrabble, but yeah, not on my not something that I was very good at. I was never very good at words and English. Full stop.
Oh really? I was good at English.
Well, I could read before I went to school.
A few subjects I was good at, eh?
Yeah, I could read before I went to school, and when I got to school, I couldn't read anymore.
What happened?
Whole word reading was a new system in New Zealand that they were spouting as the way of the future, and it just did not work for me. I could not learn that way.
Do they still do that?
I believe they do use that system still.
Wow, the way of the future.
But I don't think it's exclusive. I think they have a combination of stuff going on. There's so many people who struggle to read and write, so you kind of trying to go with a new fandangled method, because they got rid of learning all the phonetics, right? So that's the problem. If you don't know the phonetics of your language, then it makes it very difficult. Just assume that they will figure it out. Wonderful.
Oh, I thought you were going to dry brush them.
Dry brush what?
The skeleton stuff on.
I am, but I'm gonna position it. Do you know, I've got that blue colour, but I'm gonna position it. So when I put it on, it'll be just with a small brush rather than dry brush with a full big.
Now that I think about it, I probably should have just put like a brown over them as well, dark brown.
Why is that?
Well, then you can do a light dry brushing over it, and then it's done.
Oh, okay.
I suppose that then you wouldn't have a whole hour of painting though, so it's probably not a good idea.
yeah, maybe.
Probably about 10 minutes and you're done.
What a good hair. Streaking grime and oil are good methods for this. It helps with bone colour. You just put a standard off-white, then put streaky grime over it. Very simple. Then clean it up with mineral spirits. Okay, I don't want to get too high.
Oh yeah, streaking grime. Yeah, it is a use mineral spirits.
Okay.
Yep.
Honestly, I like Terraform Mars if you want a long form Monopoly game kind of game. Also.
Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, not fond of. Yeah.
You don't like terraforming?
I don't like Monopoly.
Oh right.
Do not like Monopoly. Yeah.
Is it because you suck at it?
Well, because the problem is, Monopoly is all about crushing all of your opponents and taking all of their wealth.
Well, that's a bit like Warhammer.
It's like real world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's good for training up so that you can be a millionaire and so forth. But the whole point is to break somebody else so you can buy all their land up.
So it's a game that's designed to train you to lose your conscience, 100%.
Pretty much.
And once you've lost it, you can become rich.
That's exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why I have an issue with that game.
Yeah, it's a bit like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but much worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Grand Theft Auto doesn't hide what it is. You are a criminal.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's a good game model for society.
No, I don't.
For kids to be playing, let's go around and beat prostitutes up and stuff like that.
Yeah, or anybody you find and take their stuff.
It's just
steal cars. Come on.
Oh no, stealing cars is alright, isn't it?
Do you know this?
Isn't that legal?
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
But this reminds me. This reminds me of.
So it's the same as Monopoly, really.
Well, but this kind of mentality can travel its way into role playing games like Dungeons and Dragons.
No frickin' way.
Yes, it can.
You can steal cars in Dungeons and Dragons?
No, but you can steal people's horses and their stuff.
Oh, did Rosie ever do that?
Yeah, she did a
She
lot.
stole horses, that's right.
She stole everything.
Yeah. Well, she was very greedy.
But I mean, but this is one of the I guess one of the aspects of the role playing games that I know everybody's got their own way of having fun, but you kind of, I mean, it's a very visceral. I can't do this in real life, but I would like to fulfill my darkest desires in a role playing tabletop role playing game. When you start seeing that sort of thing, and I'll be honest, I've done it myself. Okay, so
what did you do? Did you kill a Smurf?
well, okay, all right. We've taken out the baddies or whoever we've killed, and now we're going to take all this stuff, and we go through and loot their bodies. Like it's a very normal sort of thing that you see in D&D, and a lot of role playing games that are based off that sort of thing.
But aren't the baddies pretty bad? I mean, generally they're monsters and stuff. So is it okay to take
Well,
the stuff?
that's why they made monster. That's why you'll have monsters, because then it feels legitimate to do so.
It's a trick.
This is why alignment for monsters was so important, because if they had an evil alignment, well, you don't need to feel guilty about killing something that's evil, right, and taking its stuff.
No.
Because it would have done that to you, right?
Yeah.
And the less evil things around in the world, the less they can do it to everybody else, since that's what they do. Yeah. See, get my point now?
I get your point now.
You get my point now.
It's the same as Grand Theft Auto.
It is pretty much. Yeah, we're having too much fun here. You're having so much fun. You've put the miniature down and you're just having a look at chat now.
I've put a fun way to wait. I'm waiting for the base to dry.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. It's pretty wet. It's pretty wet, so yeah. But yeah. He's pretty much done actually. Really, I might take him home and put some blood for blood god on him.
Okay.
Yep, just lather him in blood because he's a
blood.
he
Frost
eats people.
He's a frost salamander who eats people.
I mean, what else? What do they do exactly? Do you know anything about their lore?
I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, 'cause do they have like frost breath like Superman?
Well, if they don't, let's give one. Give it to them.
Yeah.
Let's give them a breath. They breathe on you, and you are now a popsicle.
Or if you touch them, then you turn into ice.
Yeah. Or you just wind up as a popsicle.
Yeah.
And you can have different flavors.
And it can change you into a different flavor, so it can eat you then.
It's a bit like Dragon Ball Z, where one of those silly villains used to turn people into chocolate bars and sweets.
Man, that's right, they did too.
When I saw that, I was like, "What the heck is going on here?"
How's Dragon Ball Z? What's going on there? Yeah, no, but then again, like if you kill that monster, what exactly are you going to take from it?
I don't know.
Because you're going to steal its stuff, right? But it's like it doesn't have a pocket.
No, it can't steal. I mean,
it doesn't look like it's got any money on it.
Yeah.
It's got no jacket.
No.
It's just a bear lizard. I mean, you could probably skin it and take its hide and turn it into something, but that's just like animal killing.
So this rock I'm painting, by the way, people, I didn't mention it. This is Owlbear brown that I'm using. So yes. Next.
That rock looks incredibly like an owlbear.
Doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
As soon as you put that paint
so
on,
much like an owlbear.
just straight
I mean,
away.
God.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to a smaller brush. No, I'm not going to a smaller brush. I'm sticking with this brush, and I'm using the Gelatinous blue colour.
Gelatinous blue?
Gelatinous blue.
So it's going to be a jelly cube. What are you painting it on?
Actually, my sword is probably needing a bit more with this. I'll do that another layer. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's going to be a jelly. What are you painting it onto?
Well, I'm going to put it onto the skeleton because it's a bluey white rather than a stark white.
So it's going to be a jelly skeleton. Like a. It's
going to be blue white,
like
rather
a jellyfish, but it's a person that died in his jelly.
Yeah, well, it's a blue white rather than a stark white. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. It's like tinting it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. When you don't really know how to tint.
Oh, you just put a wash.
Yeah, but I'm going to just.
Contrast probably. Really thin down contrast,
maybe.
like an ink or something.
Maybe like that. Yeah, could be.
Time consuming though. That's not what you're about.
No, I'm not about time consuming.
No.
Keep it simple. Keep it fast.
Keep it fast.
Keep it moving.
Yep.
And
get the pile of shame done.
Get the pile of shame done. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Don't make my life difficult. So there we go. So you're going to go to the beach today, pretty much, eh? Considering that the weather looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'll go to the beach.
I have a dentist appointment, so I will not be going to the beach.
Oh well. You'll be happy that you didn't have to walk for an hour and 20 minutes today.
Well, and also too, got to do the dentist, otherwise teeth fall out.
Mm.
And at my age, things seem to go wrong with my teeth more than likely. So,
Oh, really?
well, it's just the teeth just getting older and older and older. That's it.
Yeah, I got bad teeth, so I know what that's all like.
So yeah, I got to keep an eye on them. Make sure I floss all the time, and use my toothpick to clean out my back teeth.
Get a jackhammer in there.
Well, I don't know what it is. It's just I've still got my my back molars, right? The wisdom teeth.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I still got my wisdom teeth, and
I don't have
and I'm
wisdom teeth.
and at my age, I mean, God, it would be absolutely appallingly bad to try to get them out now, I imagine. So
Ask Sam.
Yeah, I don't want to.
He knows. He's had them out.
So that's why I'm trying really hard to look after them. I've got to get a toothpick in there and just clean everything because the teeth don't sit flat.
Becomes a surgery, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, cutting them out of the jaw would just be too much. Don't want that.
No.
Trying to avoid that for as long as possible. And it's expensive, and it puts you out of work for like forever.
Yeah, what happened to Sam? It made his face swell up like a blooming pumpkin.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I can believe it. Okay, all right. Now, moving on, we'll start going over the bone, and I'm going to use this gelatinous blue. I think that's the colour I'm after.
Are you going to put a wash on the shield?
I'm going to put a wash over everything, but no, I'm going to use the gold or the bronze for the funny sort of flowery look on the front of the shield.
Oh, yep.
Because yeah, there's a little bit of detail there, and I thought that might help pick it out just a little bit. So what are we doing at the end of the weekend, dude? End of the week, are we going to be watching Ahsoka or are we watching another movie?
I'm assuming it's Ahsoka.
Cool.
But that was reliant on Yvonne last time and it is this time, so...
Is it? Can we just skip her?
Well, we're doing it here, right? So...
Well, maybe we just don't do it here. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Because when I talked to her, she said she was talking about Saturday, not Friday. And I was like, huh?
Saturday?
Yeah. So I honestly, I kind of wonder how feasible this is a possibility. I think there might be a little bit of a problem with that idea.
Yeah, it's just I want to see it on Johnny's TV.
Yeah.
My TV's not so good.
Not as big.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not an LED screen, so it's just not as crisp.
Mm.
So, yeah, I would like to see it on Johnny's TV if I can, because I've already watched it, right? So I'm re-watching it.
Yeah. Whereas the rest of us aren't re-watching it, but yeah.
No, you're watching it for the first time. And really, you'll kind of want to watch it for the first time on a good TV, because it's visually quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I guess
we'll have to play it by ear.
Play it by ear again. What's our backup plan if Ahsoka doesn't go through?
We can start watching the Justice League Zack Snyder cut.
Okay.
We'll have to do that maybe in 2 parts.
Yep. That seems like a feasible plan. So I'm just using this gelatinous blue and I'm stroking it on with a very small brush just where I want it. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, just sort of where I want things to sort of stand out a little bit. Femur bone. The toe bones.
Toe bones connected to
To
the skull bone.
Something like that.
I suppose it is if you kick yourself in the head.
The skeleton kind of looks like it's got pumps. He's wearing pumps.
Yeah, it looks like he's got dog feet.
Yeah, or he's standing on his tippy toes.
He must be, yeah. It's like he's like on hind legs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm not wrong there, eh? You see it too.
Maybe he's a Minotaur skeleton. Or like a, like it's got like... Oh no, he's on his tippy toes for some reason.
He's on his tippy toes, he is, eh?
But his feet are quite long.
Mm.
They're like as long as his femur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if that's actually...
And maybe that's a...
I think that's not anatomically correct.
Maybe it's a...
A werewolf skeleton? Oh no, but with the human head?
or maybe it's a... a model skeleton, you know, because they.
I'm not liking the new Star Wars is going since Disney has had hands on it. Although I thought Ahsoka was bad. What's bad about it? It's Dave Filoni. He worked with George Lucas. It's as accurate as you can get.
So you'll find that David doesn't agree with you in terms of the Ahsoka series.
Or the Clone Wars, because it's also George Lucas as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David's a fan of the Clone Wars, the cartoon, that is. I haven't seen Ahsoka, so I haven't had a chance to make a decision about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I find a lot of people have got various opinions.
People
about
have opinions
everything.
about it, but it's like people
Which is fine.
where people came to, really ragged down on Hayden Christensen for the way he portrayed Anakin Skywalker, but it was very specific and it was exactly how George Lucas wanted it. That's the thing. It's like
Anyway,
I did like the Clone Wars. You did like the Clone Wars, but you didn't like Ahsoka? It's the same lore. It's Dave Filoni. It's the same lore.
you don't have to understand why he likes it or dislikes it.
No,
I find that the problem is the fan base for Star Wars.
I don't like the sequel movies.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't like any of those, and I think, that they should be completely taken out of the Star Wars universe. I think that's what Dave Filoni's trying to do. He's taking them to another galaxy, so it's like completely eradicates the sequels.
I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that I think the fan base for Star Wars is so diverse in terms of their opinions, and people sort of assume, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you'll like everything the same as I do, and it just doesn't work that way. So, and also too, I mean, let's get real. The fan base really scared George Lucas off. Like, George Lucas didn't really want to have anything to do with Star Wars. He would have made more stuff if the fan base wasn't so, adamant about, we don't like what you did here, and we don't like what you did there. So,
and he's the one who created it. So it's a bit strange, if you ask me, but yeah.
So, it's so Star Wars is one of those very sort of, everybody assumes everybody's the same in terms of their opinion, but they're actually not.
Yeah.
They've got very different views, depending on who you talk to.
I don't know. I honestly think even if George Lucas took it back and started doing it again,
it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
People will still hate on it. Yeah, they'll be like, I don't like the way you did this and the way that doesn't fit to the law and blah blah blah. Even though you created it, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I don't think.
I think you're just never going to be able to keep everyone happy all of the time.
You just got to accept that some people are going to like some of it, some people are going to like other things, and that's it. Yeah.
It's better than like Disney's actual stuff that they're putting out at the moment, like remaking things, like The Little Mermaid and stuff like that.
They still made a lot of money, that remake.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
They may have made a lot of money, but it cost them more than it made them.
I think it did lose money, but it certainly made more than people were expecting.
Yeah.
Once they started seeing the release of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to make them money, Fred, not cost them money.
Yeah.
And everything that's getting made at the moment is costing them money. Everyone, I think.
No, I mean...
Barbie, not Barbie and Oppenheimer, I suppose.
That doesn't count because that's not Disney.
No, but they're movies that made money, aren't they? So...
Yeah.
Who made Barbie?
Barbie's Warner Bros.
Warner Bros. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer
and
Warner Bros. Kind of need that sort of thing after The Flash, so...
Yeah. I actually like the Flash movie.
Yeah, so you can't keep...
But then again, if they went back to stop motion, claymation, stop motion, I wouldn't be minding the slightest and got rid of all the CGI. In fact, if they got rid of the CGI and they just did practical effects, I'd be even happier. Since I know that they have things called animatronics, I'd be much happier just to have animatronics. But that doesn't seem to happen that much nowadays. I understand that it doesn't really cost as any more to have animatronics as to have CGI. The difference is the work at which end. So for animatronics you have to do all the work before you start filming, whereas with CGI you do all the work after the filming takes place. So it's a different setup in terms of scaling the time.
The endless spin-offs. The spin-offs, I personally, I wasn't a huge big fan of Boba Fett. Not because the show wasn't that great, but mainly because I just didn't like the way they portrayed Boba Fett. And funnily enough, I don't even think Temuera Morrison liked the way that they portrayed him, because he was sort of advocating that he should speak a lot less, and maybe keep his helmet on more, which I think probably should have been done as well. But the spin-offs, they're all heading somewhere. They're all going to connect back up, and they're heading in a direction. So that's the point of them. I think that's Dave Filoni's plan, is to the point of the movie that he's building up to.
Yeah.
It's all heading in that direction, and that's what the spin-offs are supposed to be doing. But they sometimes seem a bit incoherent. But I can't even remember Mandalorian. But Mandalorian season 3 was very focused on the Mandalorians, actually.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, rather than the Jedis.
That probably makes more sense, since it's supposed to be about the Mandalorian rather than the fluent Jedi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't have a problem with that. That's cool.
Yep.
I just don't like endless spin-offs. Yeah. I think maybe they've made too much. The one thing I think me and David have kind of agreed on to a certain degree, but not completely. I believe that Star Wars shouldn't make a TV series. They should just make movies, and then put the movies onto Disney Plus, because then you can actually spend the cost that you need. Because to make that world, it's so expensive and so time consuming.
Oh, me and Fred loved The Bad Batch. Yeah, we loved that show. But again, it's very similar to the Clone Wars and even the animation. I wasn't a huge big fan of Rebels. Only the elements that had Ahsoka and Darth Vader in it I liked. Yeah,
the Bad Batch first season was great. Second season, the
graphics were incredible on the second season.
The second season I found was they started to become like the batch that doesn't get anything right. Like nothing went right ever. Everything just seemed to go downhill.
That's what they call the Bad Batch, I think. They're very unlucky.
Yeah. But because there's so few of them, suddenly it just...
And they became fewer.
Yeah, they get fewer and fewer and fewer of them, and they got more and more sort of spread out. It felt like it... Season 2 felt like it was supposed to come to an end. Like that was the end of the Bad Batch, really. But yeah, I've always believed that if you're going to make those types of movies, it took George Lucas to go from one movie to another years, because he had to wait until he made enough money from merchandise and the movie itself, since he, from from Empire Strikes Back, he funded everything himself. He didn't. The studios didn't have control. He removed himself.
Thrawn, yeah. I don't even think I finished watching the Rebels, to be honest, because I can't remember Thrawn that much. It's like everything's based around Thrawn, and he's the one character I don't know anything about for some reason.
And I don't.
It's like maybe I forgot about him, or I'm not sure. I was too focused on seeing Darth Vader in Rebels, I think, and I was like, oh yeah, Darth Vader. Oh, because what I'd love to see is more Darth Vader, really, because I think Darth Vader's cool, but and also him having to adjust, like his life adjusting to being in the suit, and what he did after Revenge of the Sith would be a cool sort of storyline. But that again could be made into a movie.
And I think the other thing is I just want new stories with different characters. I don't want them to keep going over older characters.
Well, Ahsoka is a new character.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but I don't have a problem with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But I noticed that there's this tendency to just try to bring back older characters we saw in the first movies. I'm like, okay, I get it. That there's a fan base. This is how you get people to watch it.
It's also, Fred, that there's not really much about, like, this, even with 3 movies, they couldn't really break down enough of what Anakin's life was like.
Yeah.
Like, really, really delve into how he actually became Darth Vader, and what was going through the dude's head. It was very quick. It happened all so quickly.
It actually didn't even seem like the same character.
No, they've made comments about that. The jump split personality. It's so just different between the two. Yeah, because it just happened so quickly. So I think they could spend time to break that down, and also, like I say, like they could actually, delve into what it was like after he became Darth Vader and what he was, because he killed a lot of Jedi, and he did a lot of, I suppose it's a show or a movie about where the villain is the hero. Probably is not the greatest thing, I suppose, but
yeah. Well, I think we need a bit more. We need a bit more hope in our Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was the whole point. Is like even under ridiculous situations and the circumstances, there's still hope.
Yeah,
And I think that's the message, that spirit can win over technology, because that's really what the force is spirit,
Yeah.
That wins over technology in the end. Well, it certainly can. But, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, hope. Yeah, I can't. I end up talking spoilers about.
No, let's not do that.
It's good. It's a positive thing. I think it's it's got a lot of positivity in it. And new characters too. So
yeah. All right, let me just. Now I'm moving on to a smaller, finer brush for the skeletons because I'm going to have to.
You're going to paint them purple now?
No, I'm not painting them purple.
Jeez, man.
I'm doing the handle.
Right. Okay. Purple.
Painting the handle of the swords.
Not purple either, eh?
No.
Oh man.
No purple. Stop
Jeez,
it.
okay.
No more purple. I know that she was a new character, but it still took a while to develop her. She went from being a prideful little girl who kept getting her squad killed to a favourite since she developed over years. Is this Ahsoka?
Yeah. She was quite young, and people didn't quite take to her straight away. And the Clone Wars is 7 seasons.
Yeah,
it's an awful lot. Plus the Lost Missions or whatever it is season as well, and to develop the character. Plus there was a little bit of development work done in Rebels where she gets older, but she was really young and cocky. But funnily enough, just like Anakin. So yeah, it's interesting the similarities between those two actually.
You grow up with it, you wind up being it.
Yeah, well, she already was kind of cocky though.
Right.
She was quite cocky, straight away. Just call him Sky Guy, and yeah, and he didn't even want a Padawan. He was kind of annoyed about having a Padawan. And also he wasn't even a Jedi Knight. I don't think. Was he? Well, he just become. I don't think he was really, to be. He wasn't a master, so. Yeah. Then again, though, I don't think Obi-Wan had to take him on just as a Jedi Knight. Hey, he wasn't a master, was he? And he took on Anakin?
No, he was a Jedi Knight when he took on Anakin.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's.
But he wasn't. The talk was that he would do that, but he hadn't actually passed the trial in the movies, right?
No, he didn't.
So he had to wait. So he had to wait until the council said yes, you've passed the trials as the Jedi, and you can now have an apprentice.
And I think that's when you jump from Phantom Menace to the Attack of the Clones. In that gap between, again, see, it's a lot of stuff just doesn't get filled up. Explained. Between that gap, he must have done the trials.
Yeah.
So Attack of the Clones, he was a Jedi by that point.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he was a master by Revenge of the Sith. And they also don't touch on when he turned into a master.
Well, no, they did. It happened after Phantom Menace and just before the Clone Wars. It was just done off screen.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all. That's why you don't remember it.
Obi-Wan was a Padawan, but had that love heart is so annoying, eh? You just can't read it.
Yeah, that love heart's painful.
Padawan, but he had to pass the trials to take Anakin on. Yeah. But Yoda had agreed to let him take on Anakin after he'd faced the trials, at the end of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm doing my hilt on my sword for these guys, which is really, really small, and so my eyes are actually struggling right now to get paint where I need it to go. That's one done. 2 more to go. Wow. Plus, then I've got to do the shield. I haven't painted the little decorative bit on the front of the shield either. Yes.
I can say this without spoiling the Ahsoka show, because it's a question really, and I don't know how they're going to do this. The guy that plays Balin or whatever his name is in the show, the actor died just recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and they didn't even explain it. It was a really weird, ominous, flippant explanation for his death too. He just got some unusual illness and then died.
Oh, the real actor, not the character.
No, the actor. The actual actor died of. He got sick. He got some kind of flu.
Yeah.
And that was the end of him. And they didn't say what it was. They just said he got sick and he went to hospital and then he died, and that was the end of it.
Well, I mean,
Some mysterious illness is what they called it, and that's it.
well, well, yeah, but do they need to tell everybody everything, particularly if they don't know the answer?
Well, for me personally, I'd like to know what that illness is, because if you can get an illness and just go to and die, I'd like to know what that is so I don't get it myself. You know, or people don't get it. Jeez, like all of a sudden he looked really fit and actually solid in the Soka show, and all of a sudden he gets a flu and dies.
Yep, that happens. It happens.
Man.
Yep. That happened to Prince, remember?
Looks like that's why snakebite leather is... Yeah, snakebite leather's good. Yep, snakebite leather's good. I have snakebite leather actually at home.
Okay.
It's a colour. It's a colour.
Yeah?
Yep.
I'm getting there. It's just a little bit of fiddly bits on the I mean, I suppose I don't have to be quite as finicky about this as I am, but...
Well, you have time to kill, you know. Oh, no, you don't.
No.
You only got 4 minutes.
I only got 4 minutes. I'm going to be here for a little
You'll
bit
be
longer.
right. You'll get it done.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm not going to be able to push it too much because I've got to go to the dentist. And although the dentist is just down the road, about 5 minutes away. So
It's a long way away.
it might take me
No,
forever.
It's going to take a long time to get there.
I could probably walk there if I really wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, there's your walk done. You can get your walking by walking to the dentist and back.
I won't walk to the dentist.
Really? Why?
Because I don't want to be late.
Well, just leave early. Vallejo chainmail silver is also good silver. Yes, it is. It is very good. I actually don't have that colour. I've got the silver, but I don't have the chainmail silver. I should probably get that one. Because, yeah, I would like... it's really hard to get a good silver and a good gold. Those like that really cover well.
Yeah, definitely.
I cheat, though, because I use airbrushing, so... But... I mean, because you can get almost most paints to cover well. Oh, and saying that, no, I've got actually quite a few golds. And yeah, mostly golds, I think, golds and bronzes and coppers and stuff. And some of them, they just come out and they're like really flaky. The flakes in them are just too big, you know.
I think I'm further than halfway there. I think I'm definitely pretty close. I mean, I've got the hilts to do. The sword blade is done. The inside of the shield needs doing, and the strap will need doing. And then I could probably put a different brown over here for the stone as well if I wanted to, which I may or may not do. We'll see.
I think that Griffin Gold is good. Antique gold. It's a bit thick. Griffin Gold, yeah. What is some colours I got just recently? I got a I think the scale 75 and they're like aged metal and stuff like that, which comes out like a gold. Mm-hmm. They cover quite well actually.
Okay.
They're very smooth, you know. Like the problem I don't like these golds that come out and they're like, it looks like there's glitter in them. The flakes are so big.
Oh, okay.
And I've got a couple of those, and it's like even with the airbrush, I airbrush it on, you can still see like this glitter in it. It's like, no, it's I like I want it to be smooth.
Yep.
So it looks like the actual metal, you know, not like a cupcake that Yvonne and Amelia made together.
Well, I mean, they make pretty good cupcakes too.
Oh no, the taste is fine. It's just like, you know, like you don't want gold to look like glittery little beetle bugs. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she loves doing glittery, sparkly, hundreds and thousands on her baking stuff. It's quite funny.
Mm. Yeah, lots of colour.
Mm-hmm.
She put some cupcakes over yesterday. They were like multicoloured.
So for those of you who are patrons, I did upload the Rogue Remastered class onto Patreon, finally, and I think I'm just about ready to upload solo monsters, my advice around designing your own solo monsters, or modifying your solo monsters. So your legendary monsters if you're playing 5e, but really it doesn't matter what system it is, it really follows the same pattern. So that should be going up onto Patreon somewhere near the end of the day for me, which is in a few hours. 6 hours, 8 hours, something like that.
So we're almost halfway through the day.
Yeah. But on my days, I got up at 10:30.
Oh, I see. It's sharp.
You know, I mean, yeah. I wasn't moving fast. Okay, so now Now that I've done that, with the hilts and the sword bit, we're going to do, I think, the inside with the silver, and I'll just use the finer brush to get in around the hand. And then I do the straps, and then the front of the shield needs a bit of gold. I don't know if I'll get all that done. There's a little bit to get done in a very short space of time, really. Okay, so let's around that rock. Do you want me to organise you a different miniature for next time, or are you?
Yeah, I'll take him home and finish him because he's not much. He's got such a little amount to do. I'm just going to finish his base. I'll dry brush his base, and I'll put some of that blood for the blood god on him.
Because there's that Dracolich. If you wanted to do the large Dracolich in the game, there's actually a Nolzur's spellcasting Slard too there. If you wanted to do that.
No, I might do that undead dragon.
The undead dragon.
Yeah.
The zombie dragon or the Dracolich? The small one or the big one?
Big one.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's
cool.
I can see it better.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
Yeah, and I can. I mean, I probably won't get that finished before the end of the week, though. But I mean, realistically. But I'll do, if I get enough airbrushing done. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a big skeleton with dead flesh on it. So if I,
Yeah, well, you can finish it off on your own channel.
Yeah, true. Yep, that's true. Finish off on my own channel.
Okay, right. So that's.
I'll take that back with me today.
Yep.
Prep it. Yep.
That sounds fine to me.
Yep.
No issues.
And it makes painting Captain America and drawing, trying to use these special pens. It's like, yeah. The thing about pens, it's like you can draw with pencil and you can paint with paintbrush. You can always fix pencil and you can fix paint. Once you put a marker down, once you're drawing with pens, that's it. Make stuff up that's stuffed up. That's the end of a story.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And you've got to get used to that. You've got to play. You've got to draw incredibly confidently, and even if you make mistakes, you've got to make them look intentionally there. And I look at a lot of comic books and stuff. Some of these styles are actually done like that. They're actually, they didn't fill in the color properly, but it's on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you just but then again, they use a mix. They don't just use pens. They use watercolor as well, and different kinds of weird white pens, like ballpoint pens, and I've got a lot to learn about that stuff. Plenty of time though, because once you stop learning, you die. So you want to kind of keep learning as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, the brain's still working.
The brain's still working.
So, yeah, cool. I am trying to get into into this shield here. This is probably the harder bit out of everything here. The hardest bit is doing the shielding around the arm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I was wondering when you were going to do that.
Yeah,
I saw you that you left them, and I was like, "Why are they done?"
Because I wanted to do it last.
Yeah.
I was like, this is where I could possibly screw it up. I'll leave it last and
You lily livered chicken.
I'm a liver like a chicken. I like a chicken. I'm a like a chicken. Yeah, there's a few different angles to try to get at this little shit. It's gonna be a pain.
It's alright, Fred, you'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Remember, think positive.
Think positive.
Yeah, and everything will be fine.
Positively.
Made a mistake.
Darn. Okay. Yeah, I think I got as much of that as I can. Let's do the next one. And move that out of the way. Wait, what's the other guy's channel? Oh, yes. My David's channel is this one here. Now I just got to find it. What do you call again?
Dave's Mini Effects.
Oh, that's right. Dave's Mini Effects. Where are you? It's actually pretty difficult to find. If you type the name in, you probably won't find it because
YouTube maybe
it just doesn't sort of show up there. I'll put the link into the chat.
I'm too cool for YouTube.
Yeah. All right. So let me just see if I can get the other shields done, and I don't think I'm going to have time to do the brown.
You can finish it off camera tonight.
Yeah, I might do that. So yeah, you just want a really small brush when you're doing this little bit.
Mm.
And yeah, I have been promising that I would show everybody the finished miniatures in a photo on my community tab or on Discord, and I will. Probably it'll be on the YouTube community tab. Maybe even do a little what do you call it, shorts video, because I've been encouraging David to do that when I've finished and when he's finished a project, so I'll be doing the same. And yeah, just squeeze it in. Between the legs and the arm. Alright, we're almost there on this one. Can I see it? I think it looks alright. That's fine. Okay. I'll just remind you, I'm still going to do a wash. I'll do a really dark wash over this whole thing to make the skeleton's deeper recesses sort of look darker and a bit more mangy. What was that word you were using before?
Scody.
Scody. Yeah, make it more look Scody. Like a Scooter Baker? No, not a Scooter Baker. Like a Scody.
Is a Scooter Baker a car?
It used to be. They used to make them.
I don't know if the Scooter Baker's a Scody though.
They used to be very popular because they would survive pretty much.
Scody's like Mankey.
Is it?
Yeah.
So getting that on.
Have you seen the latest Fast and Furious movies?
What Fast X?
Fast 9 and Fast 10.
I've seen Fast 9, which was terrible because they took the cars into outer space. I haven't seen Fast 10, but I heard it was even more ridiculous. The dialogue's really bad, and they paid everybody so much money. I don't know what they're paying for, but apparently the action scenes are great, but Dom is now Superman and capable of doing marvelous but crazy stuff. So I'm really not too keen on the whole thing.
Because Han came back to life.
Yeah, they brought him back. I think, didn't they bring Gal Gadot, who died?
No.
Didn't they?
Not here.
I thought they brought her back to life as well.
She's Wonder Woman, man. She's too expensive now.
She hasn't had any work for a long time. I don't think that she's that expensive, dude.
Isn't she?
No.
She's doing Wonder Woman 3.
No, I think that they've been saying that, but Warner Bros. Said no, there's no plan to do a Wonder Woman 3.
Oh, well, James Gunn said he was going to do a Wonder Woman 3 with her.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think she said
that.
I think she said that, not James Gunn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the problem. James Gunn's been very quiet about the whole thing, which is not unlike him because usually on social media he's all over the place.
Well, the only qualm I had about that is that if you're gonna just like remove everybody, all your other guys,
yeah,
then you have to remove Gal Gadot as well.
I don't think that's really the issue. Look,
well, it's
new
continuity, Fred. You can't have some of them removed and say that, and then bring in another Superman into the same universe as Gal Gadot. It's just ridiculous.
Look, I don't think that really matters.
It does matter, Fred.
Cut it out, dude.
It does matter.
Are you seriously going to do this on a live stream? You're going to have an argument about the actors playing parts in a thing.
It's not an argument. It's common sense. Continuity, Fred. Continuity.
What do? They've got a new actor for Superman who's much younger than Henry Cavill and looks exactly like him.
Right, so then they need to get a new actor for Gal Gadot who's much younger, who looks exactly like her. Does he look exactly like Henry Cavill?
He does. He just looks like a younger version of Henry Cavill.
Shucks.
He not looked at the guy and was like, and somebody was saying, "Oh, he's not built enough." No, he's been working out. Just like remember when Henry Cavill, they were commenting on Henry Cavill.
Oh,
and
the other thing
Henry
is,
Cavill
he still might have to. Everyone's fight.
Yeah,
no,
stop
it's
it.
not fighting.
Stop it, Nacho.
It's a debate. Fred,
stop it, Nacho.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say the guy who's playing Superman still probably might work out for the movie because he's got the role right, but he's probably working out.
Yeah,
because they usually work out for about 6 months to a year before they do the filming.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's probably going to get bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
he still could look like exactly like Henry Cavill, but younger.
But his face looks exactly like Henry Cavill's bone structure, man.
He probably might not get quite as big because if he's younger, then he's going to be not quite as big, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's what diet, exercise, and drugs will achieve. Anyway,
Let's get on it, Fred. Let's get on it.
Hello, Nacho Man. Nacho Man's also a patron, and no,
He likes fighting.
there will not be a fight tonight. There will not be a fight. Okay, so these are the skeletons. They are not finished, but they are pretty close to. I just need to do the straps on the back of the shield. I need to do the front of the shield. Needs some detail, maybe some gold painted on the sort of the flowery look, and then a wash, and she should be mostly done.
And then the wash is going to be purple, eh?
No. Why are we going with the wash is going to be purple? Do you want to show off your
because it's entertaining
salamander?
for its entertainment value.
Salamander is getting a looky.
Salamander.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at the salamander.
He'll be by next time he'll be finished.
Yeah. So this is what David's been up to today. He's been doing the claws, I think, by the today.
Claws and more highlighting on the tail because
Yep.
Fred wanted highlighting on the tail and stuff. So I've done the highlighting on the tail.
Without a poop hole, which is I appreciate. No poop hole. I
poop hole.
appreciate that.
It's not friendly to YouTube to do.
No, no poop holes.
No poop holes. And then so just finishing off the highlighting, and then I did some interesting colours on the base. I've got to dry brush that though.
Yeah.
And then a bit of blood for the blood gods just to make them a little bit more sinister looking. And then
Yeah.
And then I'll be going to be working on a what's the other thing?
There's a Dracolich. You got a Dracolich. You got a Dracolich.
So it's a big giant skelly dragon.
Yeah, it is basically a skelly dragon. Yep. Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering what is a skelly dragon, we'll explain it some of the time because I'm going to go to the dentist and I'll be back tomorrow anyway, and we'll be chatting about who knows what. For those of you who are eager for us to have a fist fight, we are going to refrain from doing that in a live stream on my channel.
We could do it in a Dungeons and Dragons game.
No.
Just get two characters.
No.
Not even the Dungeons and Dragons.
We're not doing PvP. No PvP.
Oh, PvP, right.
No,
PvP.
not PvP. Okay.
Oh, this isn't Warhammer. Sorry, this isn't Warhammer.
Exactly. All right. So we got to get out of here because I got to go to the dentist. David's got to go to the beach, and we have to avoid having a scrap. So
it's not going to be a scrap. Jeez. It never was going to be a scrap.
It was never going to be a
scrap. It's just
scrap.
me getting excited about the idea that Wonder Woman should be canned. Everybody!
Okay, all right. Calm down, you. Calm down. Yeah, David has a bone to pick. Many picks. He picks many bones.
Yeah, well, I do pick a lot of bones.
Yeah, there's a lot of bones picking. So what is your experience with skeletons in role-playing games? People have got here running skeletons as DM 50%, painting the miniature 25%, encountered skeletons 16%, and none 8% out of 12 votes. Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Look, please, thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon. You will be getting more stuff today. I will be uploading some more stuff onto Patreon. It will happen. And there's already stuff up there for those of you who are waiting for stuff to come through. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. I do appreciate your money. It's
It's a survival thing.
It's a survival thing. Yeah. It keeps pushing me to make more stuff, which of course will happen.
And survive also.
And survival. Yeah. In any case, look. Thank you to everybody who's been hanging out with me. Nacho Man, Osiris, F Hubba. I do appreciate you being here. We had Satori here, Big Kid, or should I say Brandon. And look after yourselves, people. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or the night, or the wee early morning, look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours, unless they're skeletons. If they're skeletons, you don't have to be nice to them, okay? Skeletons, don't have to be nice to them. Until next time.
Let's get Wonder Woman to roll those 20s.
Oh, God. Fine.